What's up, guys? Welcome to New Jersey HorrorCon. How you guys doing out there? All right, awesome. We have some amazing rock legends here with us today, so let's not waste any time. Let's get them out on stage. We have Lita Ford, Rudy Sarzo, and Doyle Von Frankenstein. Make some noise. Well, thank you so much for taking the time, guys. I'm going to ask a couple questions, tee it off. I know you guys are dying to get in there, so as soon as I see hands go up, I'll start calling them out. First question I wanted to ask, though, just how stoked are you guys to be here with each other? I imagine there's more than a little fan appreciation going back and forth on this stage.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it would be great if there was more musicians. I think that would be fun.
That would be good, more musicians.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It was cool. Yesterday we did a photograph with Dee Snider and Doyle and Marky and Rudy, and we posted it on Facebook last night.
Oh,
it got all these crazy remarks.
I'll bet. Yeah, that's trending viral by now, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's great being here, not only with my friends, you know, as a matter of fact, we've done projects together, Lita and I, and I've seen Doyle they have these things called the NAMM show every year, and he's like always running around being followed by all these, you know, fans and stuff, and with Marky Ramone, because people confuse me with Marky.
Oh, that's got to be
and
amazing.
they're way nicer to me when they think I am Marky Ramone. People keep buying me breakfast. Every morning I haven't paid for a single breakfast yet since I've been here.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
They don't recognize the accent. They don't realize
I don't
it's
say
not
anything.
Marky.
I just go.
Good job. I like that.
Move. So what rock stars did you guys admire growing up, and at what point did you say to yourselves, like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna be a musician?
I'm still trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
I liked Alice Cooper a lot.
I know.
And the last 2 times I seen him, he knew my name, and my mind just exploded. You know what I mean? And he's like, "Hey, I've been following you on Instagram." And then me and my girl, she did a video with him and Kane Roberts a couple weeks ago, and we took a picture with him, and he gets in the middle, and he's like, "Yeah, I feel like your marriage counselor." I'm like, "Wow, this guy's really paying attention to everything." You know? It's awesome.
Oh, yay!
I'm actually leaving.
You say hello, and I say goodbye.
I got something else to say to you in a second. It was Lita's birthday on the 19th, and I tried to call her, but her answering tape is full or whatever it is, so I couldn't sing this message. So if you join me, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lita. Happy birthday to you. Hey!
Thank you so much. Thank you. I love you too, Dee. Safe travels. Thank you, guys. All right.
I always wondered what it was like to be a rock star. Now I know. Dee Snider just pops in and sings you happy birthday.
That is
And you
badass.
steal the shows every time. So
Yeah.
he comes in, steals the show, and what do we do now?
He's just got the best
He's
clothes,
gone.
too. He's like, awesome. Yay. Okay, so what were you saying about Alice?
No idea.
Marriage counseling?
Oh yeah, he's. We took a picture with him. He's like, "I feel like your marriage counselor." But yeah, he's awesome. It's you know, it's really great when you meet your heroes and they know your name first, and you're just like, it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Did you listen to $1 Billion Babies and
Oh, I
Welcome
love-
to My Nightmare?
Oh, of course.
I love the
Great
dead.
stuff.
Oh my God,
That's why I
necrophilia.
look like this.
Yeah, right? I gotta tell you, yeah, you're pretty pale.
Yeah.
For a dead guy, right?
Yeah.
And Lita and Rudy, rock stars you guys admired growing up, and
Lita Ford. She was in
God.
yeah, she was on my wall in my bedroom.
Thanks, guys. You're
Until
awesome.
one day my wife says, "That poster's coming down."
That's funny, oh my
That's my story. I'm sticking with it.
That's so funny. Yeah, I lost a lot of people lost their virginity to my poster, I guess I could say. You know, including my divorce attorney. He had to throw that in there.
Oh, wow. And what about for you? What rock stars did you admire growing up?
I listened to, I liked a lot of the metal bands more so than the glam bands. So I listened to a lot of Deep Purple and Black Sabbath and just a lot of the heavy rock. And it really got me into playing guitar and wanting to play those riffs.
Awesome. Very cool. So at what point along the way in each of your careers did you guys feel like you had kind of turned a corner and like sort of made it and like, wow, this is like sustainable? Like Doyle's already shaking his head.
Wasn't it last week, Rudy? Last week we turned the corner.
Last week you finally turned the corner?
I've turned the corner so many times that I'm actually facing the same direction than when I started.
Where the fuck is this corner you're talking about? There's no corner.
Doyle hasn't found the corner yet. Rudy keeps turning the corner. I just turned it last week, so we're all going in the same direction, I think.
Fair enough.
It's
fair
like
enough.
nowadays you have to like really, if you ask anybody about how do you make it in the music industry today, I don't care who you are, nobody knows.
No, there's no answer.
There's no answer.
Yeah.
There's no formula. There used to be a formula. Like
You'd think Gene Simmons would know. Or Paul Stanley.
that's true. Yeah,
They
yeah.
would know.
They're
yeah,
not the
but
only ones who would
nobody
know.
knows.
Paul doesn't answer. Gene will tell you.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, and the
He'll tell
record
you.
company executives that used to know, they don't know anymore. That's why they became real estate agents now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, one more before we turn it over to the audience. Another thing you guys all have in common is that you all initially broke out in one band or one project, and then you all went on to have multiple successes in others. So I was curious, was there ever a moment of doubt in between those projects? Did you ever think like, oh, I had my break, it's kind of done, like how am I going to do this or redo it or top this? Or
Every time I'm playing a really small show and it's really like empty, I'm like, what the fuck am I still doing? Why am I up here?
That's tough.
I hate that.
That's tough. I hate that too.
It sucks.
Yeah.
be tough.
Moment of doubt? Shit. Hell no.
Hell no.
No
All
moments
right.
of
True.
doubt.
It's
I
true.
like that.
Yeah, I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
the moment that you have a moment of doubt, it's over. That's
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah.
Because it's combination of being stupid and having total blind faith about what you're doing.
Yeah.
You just keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very
People
cool.
pick up on it easily too. You can't go there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very true. Very true.
There's no plan B.
No plan B. Yeah. The second you have a plan B, you're planning your retirement,
A,
right?
make it work. That's it. Period.
So I know that guys, the audience are ready to jump in. Guys, got any questions out there? Got one up front?
Hey, that's kind of a two-part question. So one, I'm going to direct to everybody. So you mentioned joking around about super groups. And did anybody ever think like doing a super group? And Lita, I just have a question for you. So I know a couple of years back we released time capsule albums because they cover stuff from the walls. And I just gotta say, I love Rotten to the Core. And I know that was written by Gene Simmons. And I just wonder how that came about. Like, did everybody from Kiss playing that? And how that song just came about?
Yeah. Rotten to the Core is Gene on bass.
Okay.
And Bruce Kulick is playing rhythm guitar, and then I played rhythm guitar, Bruce played rhythm guitar, and then I threw a solo on it. But it was, I'm trying to remember how that came about. I was just writing with different people at that time, and I got all these great celebrities on this CD that no one ever heard. And then a record producer came in, and he redid the demos, and they were awesome. It's just ridiculous. The producers couldn't beat the demos, but because they were labeled as demos, they got shelved, and they released other versions of some of the songs that's on that record, but they weren't as good. So record company wanted to release a record, and I said to them, hey, I've got these songs, they're on 24-track analog tape. If we transfer them over to digital, would you release them? And they did. So I wanted to give it to the fans, because they were so good. They're so good. Cheap Trick guys and Billy Sheehan playing bass, and I mean, it's just the best of the best on that record. Jeff Scott Soto. Oh my God. Yeah. Just sick. Yeah. So good. Thank you for asking, though.
And then did you guys want to weigh on that, on your thoughts on supergroups as well, or any supergroups that, right? That was the first part of the question, right? Was for everybody?
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned right now, I have my supergroup. I've got my band, and I love them. They are so badass. So I'm there. I wouldn't replace them with anybody.
You want to?
I don't have anything to say.
Yeah, and in my case, my first big band playing with Ozzy Osbourne, you know, you had Ozzy and Randy Rhoads and Tommy Aldridge and then Don Airey, and that was my first supergroup.
Right
Yeah,
there,
yeah. It wasn't really intended to be a supergroup. It just turned into one, you know, because of the great talent of all of the, you know, I'm not talking about myself, but the other band members. But then there was,
Naturally made supergroup.
yeah, but there was one that was actually handpicked, and that was when David Coverdale made a list of the musicians that he wanted for the Still of the Night video. And that was Vivian Campbell, Adrian Vandenberg, who actually got to play on Here I Go Again on the record, Tommy Aldridge, and myself. So that was
That is such a
David
great
made
record.
that list, you know, so he had that in mind. So that is the closest thing, because all of us had already had success. So it was kind of like, okay, we're going to pick these successful guys and put a group around that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing. That's incredible. So we have a question right there.
So, an extension of what you're saying, I'm actually a singer as well in a band called Jump Gennaro Copper's Cash Quartet. And so we do a lot of swing music. And there was a time where we needed a keyboard player, which it's not easy to find somebody with street talent. And because they're always in the So, did you ever find that, knowing that there's incredible talent that you've been working with, that it could be a conflict if somebody kind of had an ego and you kind of wondered, even though that everybody has a discrete talent, working and collaborating might be difficult, or was it talking about working with Ozzy in your original group that you were just sharing with us? Was there a conflict, or was it kind of like immediately flowing?
Well, regarding Ozzy, when Tommy Aldridge and I joined the band, there was two things in place. One of them was to support the release of Blizzard of Oz in the United States, which had already been released in Europe and the UK prior to us beginning the 1981 tour in April, March. I won't have the exact dates in front of me. That was part of the strategy. The second layer of the strategy was that we knew that there was another album in the can already recorded. That was Diary of a Madman. Those two records were actually recorded back to back within months or weeks of each other. So we knew that was coming. We knew that we were going to take a break off right after August, September, and then continue. Again, not having to go back in the studio to record an album because it was already ready to go, Diary of a Madman. So we started that tour in October in Europe, opening up for Saxon. And that led us, and then Ozzy had a nervous breakdown, and there's a lot of stuff that happened. And then our first date for Diary of a Madman was Cow Palace, San Francisco, December 30th, 1981. And that's the strategy. Then this project came about while we were still on tour, which was recording what became Speak of the Devil. Don Arden, which I'm pretty sure you work with, he got wind of that Black Sabbath was going to come out with Live Evil. So they was kind of like trying to beat Black Sabbath to releasing the record with Ozzy's version of re-recording of the Black Sabbath songs, which became Speak of the Devil. So as far as the band, and then Randy, of course, passed away in 1982, March 19. So, the momentum of the group was moving forward towards making an original studio recording, but we have so much stuff that we had needed to accomplish before we got there, that by the time that we did the last one, which was Speak of the Devil, Randy was no longer with us. I moved on, and then the following year, Ozzy recorded with Jakey Lee and I believe Bob Daisley, and later on it was Tommy and then Karma and a Piece joined for Bark at the Moon. That was supposed to be us, but Randy was there no longer, and it just changed the whole dynamics of the group.
You went on your own. Did you play with Ronnie James Dio? No.
Can you speak up a little bit? I don't think we can hear.
Did you play with Ronnie James Dio at all?
Or Randy Castillo? I'm sorry?
Did you play with Ronnie James Dio?
Oh, yeah, I did. Thank you. She's my hearing aid. Did you play with? Yeah, I did. As a matter of fact, since you mentioned this, the last show Ronnie ever did, and it happened to be with Heaven and Hell, upstairs, right here, 2009, House of Blues. That's the last time that Ronnie ever performed live. Dio, that's what I mean by Dio, actually, after that, we were getting ready to go on a European tour as Dio. And the last rehearsal that we did was November 16th, 2009. 6 months later, Ronnie passed away. So I was his bass player from 2004 until he passed away.
Best.
I have a question for Lita. What current musical projects are you working on?
I'm sorry?
What current musical projects are you working on?
I'm working on a project that I started a long time ago when I was engaged to Tony Iommi. It actually got shelved. I shelved it. And I've rehashed some of that stuff and titles and rewritten some stuff, and it's just badass. I can't give you the title, but it's coming out in 2019. So I'm very happy about that. Thank you for asking.
As well, for you guys, do you have any current projects, anything you're working on?
I'm in a group called The Guess Who, and we just released an album last month, Friday, actually. And also, I'm special guest on a project called Dream Child, which is 2 members of Dio, Craig Goldie and Simon Wright, myself, and 2 other members, Michael Finley and Diego Valdez, who's a singer from Argentina, who now lives in Spain, but he's an incredible metal singer. So,
Oh, wow. That sounds awesome.
Nice.
Definitely. Doyle, anything coming up?
I have a band called Doyle, which my singer named, and we got 2 albums out. Yeah, I was like, well, okay. And we're going on tour October 9th through the end of the year.
Awesome.
Cool.
Cool. Well, I hope you stop by New
Yay.
Jersey. Another question.
I was interested in knowing where you're originally from.
I was born in Havana, Cuba, and then my family came to the United States in 1961, and we first went to Miami, and then we were relocated to West New York, New Jersey. So I grew up here. Public School number 5 and Memorial High. That was, yeah.
Nice.
Can you tell my Jersey accent? Come on. Cuban Jersey, yeah.
A little bit of a mix there. One thing I wanted to ask, another thing that's been a pretty distinctive marker on all your careers is consistency. I was wondering, how did you avoid people trying to sell you on every musical flavor that came along, or sub-flavor, sub-genres? The music's become so subcategorized lately.
No, only things I know is the songs I play. I don't know anything else.
Oh, wow.
I don't know any scales, arpeggios, G clefs, you know all that stuff.
I try.
I don't know any of that stuff.
Wow. Amazing.
It comes in handy. I mean, you either fit in some kind of musical facade or you don't, Like when the 90s rolled around,
The dark years.
I got out of the way. I just thought, you guys, it's the grunge scene. I don't fit. I'm not even going to try.
Yeah.
I don't want to put away my leather jacket and wear a plaid because It's not me. I just don't fit in. So you guys have at it, and I'll be back in 2000 something.
Yeah, that's really a good question because I really missed out on the opportunity because, I used to play with Ozzy. So we did a lot of Black Sabbath Ozzy songs. And so when grunge came in, I had just finished working with Whitesnake and my head was into the whole arena, hairband, Whitesnake thing. If I would have thought about it and say, wait a minute, this whole grunge thing is actually Black Sabbath. with flannel. I could have just gone to Costco, gave me a whole bunch of flannel shirts, rewrite some of the Black Sabbath stuff, and bring in a new singer that sang a little bit higher, a little bit different, and I would have had a career as a grunge bass player.
Well, where's grunge today, right? So I think you guys all made the right choice supporting that one. Another one I wanted to ask, being that you guys, breaking down the 70s and 80s, it was a time of, great change musically with a lot of, like we were talking about a little bit, quick fads and stuff like that. But how do you guys think punk and metal have been able to survive, outlast kind of every genre that's come since? Do you guys, any thoughts on that? What keeps that?
Because it's fucking good.
Yeah, I guess that would help, right?
That's it.
Good answer.
Yeah,
It's good.
Good answer.
Fucking rocks. Yeah, it's real.
Can I just say something? I mean, if you're looking at the best example of an artist that has transcended and survived everything since she was a teenager,
Yeah.
it's my friend right here, Lita Ford.
Thank you.
I mean, just think about the career, being the pioneers of, and I hate to use the word female band, female artists. I mean, she transcends, gender. You do. I mean, I don't look at you like, well, you're a female singer or whatever. No, you're Lita Ford. And you're a rocker. You're a badass. Really.
You're pretty badass too, Rudy.
But, let's put it this way. When she was 16, in the Runaways, playing arenas, sold out arenas, making records, having hits, I was struggling in a band called Choir Riot with Randy Rose and Kevin and so on in LA, and I was like, oh my God, I wish someday I'm gonna grow up to be like, and I was in my 20s at the time. She was still a teen. And I'm going like, I hope someday I have, at least a percentage of the success that you were having as a teenager, right? Then you reinvent yourself in the 80s as a solo artist. And then you took a break and you came back.
Yeah.
Huge, headlining, still headlining. I mean, I applaud
great
you.
now.
Really.
Thank
really,
you.
Really.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Sure.
Thank you, guys. We're doing great now. We've got a great band with Marty O'Brien on bass and Bobby Rock on the drums and Patrick Kinnison on guitar and vocals. It's just a great, great band, and we haven't stopped touring since. We're touring now. We're going to be on tour November, December. So we're just blessed. We work hard. Thank you.
I want to talk briefly, if we could, about difference of concerts today versus concerts, even just a few short years ago. Like if you guys were playing and places packed and it's like the last song or something like that, and everyone's holding up their phones and staring into the screens. Do you feel that creates kind of a disconnect? Do you feel like you're not feeding as much off the energy of the crowd anymore?
Marky Ramone that question. Did you see the video he put together for SWAT? It's so funny. Oh my God, I haven't laughed so hard since I saw this video. He has a problem with people holding up their cell phones. And I actually hate it too, but you got to just accept it for what it is, right?
Obviously, you can't change the world, right?
But the video is he makes this stick. He has a stick, and it has a 45 record glued to the stick. And he goes around swatting people's cell phones out of their hands. He has the same face. He never cracks a smile. He never changes that face. And then all of a sudden you hear, SWAT! and this person's cell phone goes flying. It is hysterical. Gotta see it.
Oh wow, yeah, that sounds amazing. I'm definitely gonna watch that tonight.
So funny.
Very cool. Did you guys want to weigh in on that?
We did Misfit shows, and you are not allowed to bring a phone in. You have to put it in a bag when you get in there.
Wow.
And it's so much nicer because usually you just see everybody watching it through their phone.
Yeah.
Like they're, like they're programmed,
Yeah, they are.
But without it, everybody watched the show. Everybody went crazy, and at the end, lighters, like a real concert.
Wow. People still have lighters? That's amazing.
There was lighters.
Wow.
It was cool.
That sounds awesome. That sounds really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and with my band, Doyle, playing a smaller show, one time there was a girl filming me while I'm trying to solo, which I have a problem doing, with the light on the phone in my face.
Oh gosh.
And I'm trying to play this thing, and I grab her phone and I throw it on the ground, and she's like horrified, And I do my meet and greets after the show because I don't want to get dressed early. I got to, I want to work out. I want to do my shit during the day. So who's first in line? Of course, it's her. So I brought my phone because I knew she would probably be coming. And as soon as she came up, I just turned the light on and stuck it in her face. I'm like, that's what you did to me. I'm trying to work here. Do I come to where you work and put my phone in your face?
Yeah.
It's like you're in a zoo.
Yeah.
Just enjoy the show. You can film it. You're never going to watch it.
Yeah.
They're never going to watch it.
It sounds like shit, too.
Yeah, take a picture.
Oh yeah, the microphone on the phones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible. It's it's for for one Facebook post that night or something.
Yeah.
Check out my awesome life. I'm seeing this great show.
But the light, too. You know how
Yeah.
bright that light is?
Oh, those lights are super obnoxious.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, super obnoxious.
Awful. I know what you mean. I'm with you on that. Obviously, Marky is, too.
Yeah. So Rudy, what are your thoughts on that? Smartphones and
I'm
the
actually
audience?
playing now in a classic rock band.
Oh wow.
So most of our audience doesn't even know how to turn on a smartphone. So they don't have one,
That's classic. That's hysterical. So, one more I want to ask if we actually do have one in there. Okay, there we go.
My mother wants to say something.
All right.
Hi, Mom.
And I never saw something like this. And I love you all.
Thank you.
Ti voglio tanto bene, Anna Maria.
We had one.
Nice.
Can I take a picture?
Please. Yes.
Yes, right in Doyle's face. Sorry.
Don't piss him off. Just don't piss him off.
Yeah.
A lot of artists nowadays have other people writing songs for them. Back in the day, I'm sure now, you guys write all your songs? Like, what do you think of that?
So a good song is really hard to find. So if somebody brings something to the table, even if you didn't write it, it doesn't matter because they're so hard to find, and they can make your career or break your career. So if you record something that you didn't write and it's amazing, goes to #1 and makes you, sell lots of records, who cares, really?
I think the perfect example is Aerosmith. Once they started writing with Linda Perry, hits. Sometimes you gotta let people, if somebody's better at something than you and you don't let them do it, you're an idiot. You can't always do it all yourself because it's not going to be the best.
From experience, usually having a #1 hit song, obviously it's #1 song, it's a hit song. It starts like this: a producer or record company executives brings the song to the band. The band spends like maybe a couple of weeks trying to find a way how to get out of recording the hit song because they don't want to record somebody else's music in their record. So eventually they go in there, they try to do like a half-assed job, like, let's say the drummer goes in there and tries to play the song badly, but it turns out to be that, okay, it's a take. And then, you put the song on the record, the song now takes the album to #1, and you gotta spend the rest of your life, as long as you're in that band, playing the song that you, from the very beginning, even though it made you a lot of money and success, you hated playing. I was there, I did that, and I loved that song. I still do. Love Come On Feel the Noise, which that's how Come On Feel the Noise started out. Yeah.
perfect example right there.
Very cool, very cool. We do have time for one more if anyone out there wants one last one. Okay.
I don't want to be the last one if someone else has a question.
You already hogged it.
You're the
all.
Lone
Might as
Ranger,
well
yeah.
And so, I would like to hear the opinion of all the artists, what you listening to each other's music.
I'm a big Whitesnake fan. I thought Rudy was incredible in the Whitesnake videos and all those great songs.
You should have been in the video vixen instead of Tawny.
I wish. I wish I was. I would love that, but I don't know how to do the splits on the hood of a Jag. I would get stuck. I'd be like, oh, fuck, how do I get back up now? Ow. She was amazing.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, I love the Quiet Riot stuff, and I love the Runaways.
Yeah, oh, thank you.
Some from the punk rock.
I
days,
know,
too,
just
yeah.
punk was one of my favorite parts of the music industry. When the punk rockers came out with the Sex Pistols and the Runaways and the Ramones and all that whole era was just sick. It was so fucking nasty. Man, so nasty. Everybody would spit on you. In the audience, they would spit loogies on you. And you could look across the stage over at the bass player or somebody on the other side of the stage, and it was like it was raining in the club with all the spit coming up. And that meant they liked you.
Yeah.
So if you didn't get spit on, you were no good.
I take that a different way.
At least it looked like spit, right?
We need to bring back the spit, but only spit at the people holding smartphones up.
Oh,
know?
I learned to spit. I learned real good. I taught my kids how to spit. It kind of runs in the family.
Very cool, very cool. So we're pretty much out of time, guys, but make some noise, round of applause. Show me you guys how much you appreciate it.
Thanks so much.